Yes, it is possible to use your PlayStation 5 controller on your PlayStation 3. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to connect it to your normal PlayStation 3 and to your jailbroken PlayStation 3 and what you can do with it. And at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you one downside you have with this controller. Let's go. When we start, we are going to start with a normal PlayStation 3 controller, and we are going to our settings, and when we go to settings, we scroll to accessory settings. We press on it, and then we go down to manage Bluetooth devices. When you go to manage Bluetooth devices, you can see I already connected my PlayStation 5 controller, and to connect your PlayStation 5 controller, you press this PlayStation button and this select button. You press them together until your PlayStation controller starts to flash in blue, and then you can find it here and register it. Once you have done it, I've done it already, you can use your PlayStation 5 controller just like this, okay? So now, this is how you could connect it to a normal PlayStation 3 and a jailbroken PlayStation 3. This was the connection. Now with the normal PlayStation 3, you can play your PlayStation 3 games, but you won't be able to use the extra functions of the PlayStation 5 controller, which is normal. On the jailbroken PlayStation 3, you can use this with the PlayStation 3 games, with 2 games, PlayStation 1 and PlayStation Portable PSP games. I'm going to show you a test now how I'm playing it on a PlayStation 3 game. For example, we're going to take Naruto. I'm playing now with the PlayStation 5 controller, and this is for the PlayStation 3 games. By the way, note that whenever you want to quit the game, you cannot use the PlayStation button on the PlayStation 5 controller. You always need to have a PlayStation 3 controller next to you, so you can press the PlayStation button. You can keep holding it like this to quit the game. Here you can have, here you see, you have no controls. So you need the PlayStation 3 controller for this. So it means you cannot start your PlayStation 3 with the PlayStation 5 controller. You always need the PlayStation 3 controller to be next to you. Now let's pick a PlayStation 2 game. Let's pick Need for Speed, for example. You can see it's connected. I'm gonna pick Need for Speed. We'll wait, it will load up the disc. We'll start the disc. And note now, the lights just went off. So when you are using the PlayStation 2 games with your PlayStation 5 controller, the PlayStation 5 controller will not work wirelessly. You will need to connect it to your PlayStation 3 with the USB to USB-C cable, so you can use the controller. As you can see, there is the controller just won't connect to the PlayStation anymore. I'm going to connect the controller. And now as soon as I connect the controller, the lights still, they won't turn on. So the controller is not working, and when I connect the cable, it still won't work. I found the problem. The problem for connecting the PlayStation 5 controller to the PlayStation 3 was the USB-C cable. If it didn't work, just try another cable. Some of them are just some cheap cables and they don't work. And that's why I was struggling. Okay, so now the controller is connected with the cable, not with Bluetooth, and now we can use our PlayStation 2 games with our controller, which is not possible wirelessly. So as you can see right now, we are playing Need for Speed on the PlayStation 2 with the PlayStation 5 controller. I'm gonna go free roam a little bit and show you that the controller does really work. So wirelessly, the PS5 controller will not work for PS2 games, but wired it will. And as you can see, here we are driving. Let's go, put some nitro. Whoop. See, so that's working just fine. That's no problem at all. So you can use your PlayStation 5 controller with a PlayStation 2 game on your PlayStation 3. That's wonderful. So now if we try PlayStation 1 games with our PlayStation 5 controller, let's try Tekken 3. So as you can see, Tekken 3 started and I'm using my PlayStation 5 controller. I can use arcade mode, and now we can choose our player. As you can see, it works perfectly. Okay, so let's go out. Like I said, we cannot use our PlayStation button. We have to use it on the PlayStation 3 controller. And now let's test the PlayStation Portable, the PSP. Let's test Tekken 6 here. When we start this, we have to start PSP launcher and we'll get in the game. So as you can see, Tekken 6 on the PSP has started. It's working with my PlayStation 5 controller. Just make sure if your PlayStation 5 controller is placed at number 2 because you have activated your PlayStation 3 controllers to have all the controls. Yeah, make sure this is number 1 and this is controller number 2. And if I do arcade battle now, for example, as you can see, I can choose my players.
Get ready for the next battle.
So that's also no issue, that works fine. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As you can see, you can use your PlayStation 5 with your PlayStation 3 for all your emulators, even the PlayStation 2. Only when you use the PlayStation 2, you need to use the cable. If it doesn't work, make sure you use another cable, you use a high quality one. So it works. As you can see, that's no problem. Please subscribe to the channel. I have more videos about this coming out. And I also have a playlist out on how to jailbreak your PlayStation 3 so you can use all the PlayStation 3, 2, 1 and PSP backups of your games from your hard drive, just like this, and so you can connect any controller. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.